Fernando. He's got his podium back.
He's back, better than ever.
But, and I think there's a but, I think George Russell has also been shafted here because the FIA are useless. Because apparently the reason he's been given it is because you have a maximum of 30 laps to tell the team / driver about said penalty. And it was lap 19. Of course, 50 laps takes up to 49. So he was lucky. But at the same time, he should never be getting a penalty for this.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't have been. I mean, you could argue he should never have got the original 5-second penalty because he wasn't really getting an advantage. But I mean, that's fair enough. They give him it. But to give him a further 10 seconds because they deemed the rear jack apparently touched the car before the 5 seconds, even though it didn't lift the car, even though there's no footage showing it touched the car, but apparently it might have touched the car, but we couldn't see because the mechanic's leg was in the way, and that was the reason for giving them another 10-second penalty. That to me, that's an abysmal decision. Even Austin Martin on the last lap were saying to Alonso, try and build a 5-second gap in case something happens. So even Austin Martin were expecting a 5-second gap. Mercedes told Russell to stay within 5 seconds. So they were expecting a 5-second gap, and then we get to the end of the race, and all of a sudden they pull out this 10-second penalty from somewhere.
Thin air. They've absolutely grabbed it for thin air, but again, Alonso did all the celebrating up on the podium, and then it's afterwards. It would have been a joke, right? But then Russell,
you see Mercedes upload a picture. Mercedes upload Russell with the podium.
First silverware of the season, blah, blah, blah. Podium, we can build on this, that sort of talk. And then he's just had it hoovered back off him. When, in reality, right, if they were going to give Alonso a penalty for this, it should have been a few laps after it happened. Not after the race. I mean, you literally had Alonso. You even joked, he doesn't know what to do with champagne. He took the cork out.
Sprayed it all over Verstappen.
And then it showed you two screens and it went, but Christian, we don't want to give you that.
Well, if Fernando was smart, he'd have took the champagne bottle, cracked Verstappen over the head, cracked Perez over the head, got them replaced by, I don't know, fucking Danny Rick and someone else's garbage, and then Alonso would have had a good shot at winning the title. That's what he should have done with the champagne bottle, but nope. He celebrated it like he got a podium, then he thought he'd lost the podium, and then, yeah, apparently he got the podium back, so
yeah,
weird decision. I mean, it's the correct decision, but
first person to post about it was Flavio Briatore. He knows everything.
Big
Fernando
Flavio,
tells him fucking everything.
Oh, Flavio. Anyway, I mean, right decision, but just a mess how we got here.
Yeah, like we're sitting here, 3.5 hours after the race finished.
And like, I want to know, what does this mean? What let's say, for example, gambling sites, people that have had bets on. Let's say you bet Alonso. I mean, do you not get paid out? And then you bet Russell to get the podium. I mean, you'd think you're entitled to have it, and that, like, it's a big cluster, really, at the end of the day.
For nothing.
Over absolutely nothing. So, I mean, we'll see.
Like, if Ocon, right, if he did the same as Ocon, right, then give him the penalty when after it, not give him after the race. Just, penalties after the race suck. Honestly, they do. But the FIA, right, I can't remember the last time. You know what? Know who they miss? Who did they miss? Big Charlie Whiting. Seeing he was in charge, things seemed alright. Then you had Michael Massey. Hey Toto, it's called a motor race. No, Mikey, no.
Well, no. It is a motor race, and podium should be decided on track, not after the race. Different if Alonso does something that is preventing Russell from winning or something like that. But I mean, what did he really do? He went in to serve a 5-second penalty, which in my opinion, to begin with, was pretty harsh. And then he gets another 10-second penalty because apparently the jack was in the wrong position, even though they didn't touch him until the 5 seconds was up. A real mess, but I am happy that the right decision is finally... but then again, I mean, what's stopping them from investigating this further and going, actually, you know what? We're going to give him a 15-second penalty, Hamilton, you're into fourth. I mean, it's just... I don't know. I feel like once the race is done, that should be it. Of course, if it comes out later that someone was cheating, I think that's different. But I think penalties should be issued during the race.
Yeah.
Unless it happens like within the last couple of laps or something, then there's not a lot you can do about that.
I see this, you can't work in the car. They fucking touched it, right? It's not like they do the thing at the front wing where, you know, they change the settings. Like, what we're looking at here, if it touched it, not Here, did they put the tyres on before the fucking stopwatch finished?
Yeah, like what difference does it make if it touched it or not? I mean, we're literally talking like milliseconds of a difference. And I get it, sometimes in F1, that can be important, but that would not. What happened here? This did not lead to Alonso getting out of the pit box in front of Russell. This had no bearing on that.
Exactly.
Now, see if by the jack touching Alonso's car meant that maybe this what's led to Alonso beating Russell out, then you can maybe argue, then yeah, that's a bit unfair, but it didn't. So, yeah, we'll see. Now, I don't know if Alonso has the 10-second penalty been reduced to 5 seconds, or has it just been taken off?
It's just been. I don't know. I'm assuming it's just been removed, the entire penalty, and they've counted the 5 second they took at the pit stop.
So what's happened?
So basically, it's just
No. So wait. So they've dished out the penalty. Then Aston Martin have appealed it, and then they've looked at it again and went,
aye.
"Why can't they? Why did? I just don't see how they can get it wrong and then look at it again and go, oh no, wait, we made a mistake."
I know.
Why did they issue the 10? Baffled, absolutely baffled, guys. But anyway, Fernando gets third place, rightfully so. That takes him on to 30 points, and he's now only 14 points off Max Verstappen. Can Fernando make a title push? Honestly, I don't think so, but if anyone can beat the Red Bulls, it's him.
It's Big Fernando.
So yeah, looking forward to the next race down under in Australia. It's a shame that we have to wait 2 weeks. Normally, you start the F1 season, you get a couple of races back to back, but
like, I'm not saying, right, without his penalty at the beginning that, you know, he'd have put up a epic fight against the Red Bulls, but it kind of just took away for like the start of the race. Like,
the fact he
finished sector 1 and Crofty goes, oh, he's a 5 second penalty coming.
the fact that he had that penalty just meant he didn't even put up a fight really against Perez at the start.
Exactly.
So it would have been nice to have seen how the race would have played out. If Fernando indeed did not have that penalty. I still think he'd have finished third. I don't think it changed anything. But it would have been nice to see him, you know, be interested in the battles more rather than battling Perez with that penalty. He was just more interested in maybe trying to keep Perez's slipstream and build up a gap to the cars behind him. Anyway, that's it. Alonso's third. And the pattern of fair, pair, and aloe continues. So that's the 3 abbreviations that I think we'll be seeing on the podium.
Nah, well, pair went first, mate.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not saying it'll be that order, but I think
hopefully we see AOL and then.
I want to see AOL first, then. Can really give a shit what they ought to. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's it. Till next time. Peace.
Woo! Fernando.